Okay, I hope this is going to work now with the microphone. Um, okay, so I wanted to do another video, and this video is to warn you who you ask for guidance. I remember a few years ago in Vancouver, there was a healer that I used to see regularly. Um, and she was part of this weird academy called Radiant Rose, which is a fucking load of bullshit. That is such a weird cult. Stay away from that. Um, I went to see her quite frequently to process emotions, to get guidance, and all that kind of stuff. At some point, I asked her, and I said to her, "Yeah, look, I think I was sexually abused as a child." And she was just like, okay. And then we did this pendulum test. Like, you can stand, well, now I can't stand anymore, but like, you can stand and you can ask your higher self to push you forward for yes and backwards for no. So we did that, and I got a yes. And then she said to me, "But well, it doesn't really affect your life in any negative way, or does it?" And I was just like, no, not really. Not really. And then I also said that I didn't really like my parents and I didn't really want to be in contact with them and whatever. And she said to me, well, at some point in the future, you're still going to need them for your support, for your purpose. And I was just like, oh, okay, sure, okay, whatever. But now, in the state that I'm in right now, and I have a different perspective and a different situation, what's going on, where I'm operating from an altar that has been abused and feels powerless and is not connected to the core soul. And so there's a fragmentation. Yeah, I mean, like, look at the implications of this false information that she gave me. I mean, now this trauma thing is actually fucking killing me and is allowing my energy to go everywhere and is contributing to my demise. And this is the shit that some people say. So be really careful who you talk to, and they need to be at a level of maturity and connected to the truth and not to some weird spirits. I remember I went to a few workshops with her, and I'm not saying that everything's bad. I'm not saying that there were a lot of helpful things, but she worked with a lot of angels, and with angels you also have to watch out because not all angels are angels of God. There are a lot of false light angels and demons and weird shit masquerading as the light. There's a lot of false light teachings. I mean, like, you can look around and it's all of this focus on the positive and everything will be fucking great. Sure, yeah, it's helpful to focus, have a positive intention, and to want to do something that's good, but well, you got to stick with reality, right? Like, you got to stick with what's really going on as well, not pretty talk things and be like, oh yeah, or you have to be grateful for all the people in your life. Well, either you're grateful for them or you're not. You don't have to force yourself to be grateful. Yeah, it's helpful to think like, yeah, I'm grateful that I have food on my table. But don't focus, don't force yourself to feel anything that you don't. Like, for example, like, I have felt a lot of hatred towards my mom, which could be an entity or it could be a true feeling because she has really hurt me or because she is evil and she will hurt me. And if I don't trust her, then there's a reason why I don't trust her. Sometimes it's because of a break in the past from childhood, and sometimes it is because she's just not a trustworthy human being. So got to use discernment with that. Um, anyways, false light teachings. Anyways, um, if she would have been really truly aligned and connected to source, then maybe she would have received guidance that, yeah, you need to heal that and let's look at that, because otherwise, because my purpose is not to go with this down this spiral and demise. That was not my purpose. That was not the divine plan. That was not how God planned that. That's like the archontic plan that is happening right now to take down me, because they don't like me being here, and they don't like me being here in a powerful state. So now they're doing everything in their might and power to take me down. And don't worry, I can speak very clearly right now and confident. I have a lot of parts of me that are not confident, that have inferiority complexes and all that kind of stuff. But I can't access them right now. So this is why I come across like, oh yeah, I'm so great. I'm not so great. I'm great, but I'm also not. Anyways, I just wanted to say that. Um, yeah, so in a way, my mother and father have created, um, as a child with me being raped, they have created a manifestation altar. Um, altar, ALTER, which means two fragmented identities. Um, and then you can put an altar with an AR in the end. And my mom has altars all around the house, and I feel like, I know that sounds weird, but I feel like other people can manifest things through this altar in me now. Um, like I remember when I was at home, she would have these like weird altars. I think I talked about one of them in a video. It was about, like, a picture that I painted with love on it. And then she had this altar underneath it, and it had this little poem in it. Until the Holy Spirit, blah, 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 and the Christ child, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, this weird poem in there. And I remember reading it and I was freaking out. And then, like, there was a drawer with lots of clocks. And I remember lying in bed and I could sense it. Like, I could sense the clocks, like, tuk, 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 like time is ticking away. And the poem thing said something about when the Christed child, when all the shops are, I don't know, I don't remember what it was. I'm sorry, I can't. But it was really creepy, and it really freaked me out because I am or was a Christed child. And then there was money in there, and I don't know, it's just intentionally this altar. I think hair, like there was hair of me in there. Oh God, now talking about hair. Um, yeah, I remember when just before my accident, it freaked me right out. It freaked me right out, and yeah, I have this weird thing that I think that at some point everybody's going to evacuate to Australia. I don't know if that's true or not. That could be crazy talk. Only the future will tell. But yeah, I knew a while back, um, I did this meditation, and for this brief split second, I could see and sense my soul, and I could feel how traumatized I was. And I knew for certain that the worst thing for me to do was go into any hospital setting, because I knew that I was bleeding out my energy. It was just bleeding out. And I was supposed to go into the hospital to get my toes straightened. But I refused because I knew that what would happen. So I said no. And my mom tried to convince me with all the logic in the world, like, and many people tried to convince me, but then you can, but I knew that I had to listen to my inner feeling and my soul. So I said no. And then shortly after, I moved into my apartment, and my father said something like, "Oh, is Julia able to live alone in her apartment?" And I just knew that he was up to no good. I'm fully capable of being with my emotions and my feelings by myself. I can do that. But what I can't have is other people's energies come inside of my body. I remember the first few days when I was there, I felt so oppressed, like I couldn't breathe, and it was like, and it wasn't my energy, because I couldn't cry, I couldn't feel anything. I felt like I had no soul. I felt like I was a psychopath. It felt like my parents' energy. And so when people then asked me like, "Oh, do you live by yourself?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's a really interesting question. Um, yes and no." Um, Another interesting thing, what is happening, and I don't know why I'm sharing all of this. I guess I'm sharing all of this just in case this happens to anyone else, because I've been looking around on YouTube and on the internet trying to find something that kind of helps me. And not that this is helpful, this is just because I don't know the solution at this point. Um, yeah, but I don't. Now I lost train of thought. Oh, my train of thought. Um, oh yeah, manifestation altars. So, I mean, you hold great responsibility as a healer and as a healing professional. And if you are not aligned with the truth, I mean, this lady is partly, I mean, she's not responsible for the decisions that I take. That is correct. But I believed her. And now I'm fucking dying, and inside, and my body too, maybe. I don't know. Um, so that this is what happens to be like, that was the false light. Like, she was channeling the false light, and I've had quite a few people that have been channeling the false light, and it usually comes across as distorted. It's like, I don't know if they're connected to some goddess shit, or I don't know, whatever. Also, the moon is not really something that we should adore. The moon is some kind of artificial construct that's got nothing to do with this talk, with what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the manifestation altar. But oh, I remember now what I was going to say. In the past, when I've felt and sensed myself, I had a complete sense of myself, and within that, parts of me would be in the foreground. So, for example, a trigger or something like that. Now it's different. Now it's like an aspect of me is layered around me, is like comes up, and then I think, oh, there's this part of me. and I feel confident and I feel like, oh yeah, maybe there's a way out of this situation. And then that layer evaporates into thin air, or I don't know where it goes, it disappears. And then this new thing comes up. But let me tell you, the worst thing, well, after my accident, I fucking cried my eyes out. I was so devastated. I couldn't believe that something like that had happened to me. And it may have well shattered my heart. I don't know. But I keep asking God to repair my heart. And I heard a voice say before that you are beyond repair, which is great. That's a great fucking thing to be. So I'm just living out life, I guess. It's not funny. And of all the places I get to do it, in this place, which is evil in itself. And I get to listen to people tell me it's okay that you feel like you're evaporating into thin air. It's okay. You will be able to at some point. Oh, did she even say that to me? Feel the plants and nature again. She said that to me. Oh, God. And then the next day, she was like, oh, yesterday I felt the heart. Oh, my God. I, I don't know what to do. This is just fucking bullshit. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette and then listen to all this shit that people say outside, and then I know again what's going on inside of me, and maybe I'm giving my power away to the outside world, I don't know. But there's a law of, I think it's called that basically says that the external world is always a reflection of the internal world. Right now it's not the prettiest reflection, unfortunately. So anyways, the manifestation altar. And if at some point everything has been taken from the wonderful manifestation altar, you can just throw it away. So I might end up living on the street or in some place I really don't want to live. Yeah, wonderful. So much for the future. And and this reminds me back again of the girl that I was talking with who said that there are no souls. I I wouldn't be surprised if she came from the future because her soul was taken or usurped or something. I'm sure they're going to do this to more people at some point. But the thing is, they can't do that to people unless you are severely fractured in your energy field, right? Like you need to have a part of your energy field that's kind of like a victim from sexual abuse or some major victimization abuse. So it's either the people taking these energies or I'm being tricked and it's demonic entities taking my vital energies. That could also be the case. So I don't know.